the Mackem 73 show. That'd be having the 73 on would be nice as well.
Hello and welcome to another live stream from me and the Mackem. We've got Jacob Aviard on the camera. You've got DJ Earth in the background off his camera, who's also streaming on his channel. Both their bouts are in the bio bit in my YouTube channel. Welcome to the Mackem Show podcast, episode 2 as well. We are officially on Spotify with this show as well. It's actually quite exciting to be on there. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, all these Friday night footballs will essentially be on Spotify as well as YouTube after the fact. So that's going to be cool as fuck. We do have one game in the championship that's happening right now. It's about half an hour into it, and QPR are 2-0 down to Birmingham City, which I don't think many people had on the cards. But that aside, what we had in plan for this show was one, to talk about our previous result against Burnley, which saw Sunderland lose 4-2, which you can see in the stats, basically when we scored, who made the subs, which cards, all of that's directly below me in the video. But also our game ahead. We've got Luton tomorrow, 3 o'clock, which we'll be doing a watch-along live stream on my YouTube for. And yeah, exciting times. But first, let's talk about the Burnley game. Jacob, do you want to use a couple of minutes while DJ's sorting himself out to express your feelings around the Burnley game?
It was just, I mean, first half we were good, and I thought maybe today could be a day to get a good win, especially against a team that's been in the Prem not long since. But then second half we seemed to have dropped off a bit, and then especially from a winning position, it was really just disappointing, especially from a winning position, to lose 4-2 against Burnley.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same as me, mate. It was a tale of two halves, wasn't it, really? You had the first half where we were fantastic, looked like we were doing absolutely everything right. Clearly, nothing real of substance was said at half-time because Burnley needed to switch into gear. They got a rollicking from company, I'm guessing. And us saying continue, keep going as you're going, lads, didn't really work. Clearly, the proof is in the pudding. And as soon as they got their first goal in the 6 minutes into the second half, our heads just dropped and we didn't know what to do with the ball at any point after that. So we weren't the only team to lose 4-2 on the weekend, by the way. There was two other 4-2 games, but I think we lost it in the most embarrassing form, because having that 2-0 lead, 45 minutes from 3 points, the other two teams were never actually in the game. They just snatched a goal here and there. Is that more disappointing than the other way around? If they scored 2, we scored 1, they scored another 2, we scored 1. Do you think that would have been a better defeat, if there is such a thing?
Yeah, I mean, so you mean like if they scored and then we scored and then like that?
Yeah. So obviously a defeat's disappointing regardless, mate. Right? I think there's no two ways about it. I think it's because we were so far ahead of them in that first 45 minutes that defeat feels like an absolute gut wrench. Whereas the other ones were a bit of a slow bleed. This one's just a full on like gutting of our team.
Yeah.
So do you...
I'd agree with that. I'd have been
Can
more.
you hear us now, lads?
All right, welcome, DJ, mate. Yeah, hello, mate. We're just giving our thoughts and feelings around the 4-2 loss against Burnley. And hello, Dov in the chat.
Yeah, of course, I'd be less disappointed with, say, if it were Burnley 1-0, then us 1-1, and then them 2, then 2-1 Burnley, then 2-2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like that. What happened?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been as disappointed with that, but with how the game went, I was just angry. But we can't forget that Burnley were in the Premier League not long since, and I think they've still got some Premier League players in that team. So
they've got a Premier League.
Not anything excuse, but you know.
Yeah. Well, they've got a
Not
lot.
like
Of,
the
they've got a lot of
other-
Premier League coaches still in their books. They've also got obviously Vincent Kompany, who's been there, done that at Champions League level, so he knows what he's talking about when it's against. I wouldn't say us as being lesser teams at the minute, but we are below the quality level that Burnley have. I think that was abundant in that second half. DJ, I'm conscious you can now hear us. What were your thoughts on the Burnley game?
Just beaten by quality and strength by the end. Good first half shown by Sunderland. I mean, they've got the likes of Rodriguez coming on the bench and that. They're just a really good, strong, solid outfit. Too much for Sunderland at the end of the day. I don't think Sunderland were awful. I just thought they just attacked the punch in the second half and we couldn't handle them.
Why didn't they come out of the gates like that in the first minute though?
I don't know. It's just like it's like with us, and week in, week out, week out. It's just like we just seem to be a one half team. I don't know what causes it. I mean, they made a change, didn't they?
At half time, yeah.
A lot of the Burnley fans were saying like, "Oh, they need to get that player off. He's not doing any good at all." And that was the changing point. I mean, to get a goal so early on in the second half was the game changer without a shadow of a doubt.
It was a gut wrench.
Did our heads drop? I don't know if our heads so much drop. Might have done a little bit, but the quality they've got up front compared to what we had on the day, we're just no match for them.
If the second half, we just looked like deers in the headlights. Our entire team just were completely baffled. I wasn't.
There would have been a different outcome if the longer we'd have kept a clean sheet in the second half. We would have seen a completely different outcome. But I think them pulling a goal back so early on, like you just said, like a deer in the headlights, it just totally stunned Sunderland. And I thought like it just collapsed after that, didn't it?
Pretty much, mate. We didn't look in it at all in that second half. I think we
like a patch from that first half, did we? Total different side altogether.
Yep. So, well, to be fair, so were Burnley. I was, I don't know if you heard or not, but I was just saying to Jacob, we weren't the only team to lose 4-2 over the weekend. I just think we lost in the most embarrassing and disappointing way, because the other two teams were never really in their games that lost 4-2, but we were having that leading position and a 2-goal cushion. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It feels raw. But we can talk about the ifs, whats, and buts about the game. But ultimately, we lost it because we weren't the better team on the night. But the team that we're playing tomorrow, Luton Town, they also lost last weekend. They lost quite emphatically 4-0 on this Sunday. What do you fancy to our chances against a team like Luton, especially the way they're currently performing? Bear in mind, they are 9th, but they have just suffered that horrible defeat.
I don't know fancy against Luton well.
I have no idea.
Carry on, fella. Carry on.
No, sorry. You go first, DJ.
No, I insist you go first. Go on, Jacob.
Yeah, it was Derby defeat for Luton one. It's it's going to haunt them, I think, for quite a bit. That, and I hope we take advantage of that and not. And I don't want a first, 2 halves like Burnley. I don't want that. I want us to be full guns blazing, both halves. We can't keep doing that every season, having a game of 2 halves.
Just so you're aware, I don't know if it's because they're the home team or our current run of form, but Luton are the bookies' favourites to win tomorrow. DJ, what were you saying?
Yeah, I do fancy Luton against Sunderland. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think with our current setup at the moment with players out, I just think Luton will just have the quality at the end of the day, and I think could be quite an uncomfortable afternoon for Sunderland tomorrow. The only thing that concerns me is the fact, we're only 4 points off the drop zone, and only 1 win in 7. If it is only going to be 1 win in 8, then is the pressure going to start turning up for Tony Mowbray?
I think it was on the Roker Report Basically, people saying chop and change the gaffer if he does continue this run of form. I think that's a little bit unfair to the situation that he's been thrown into, to be honest. If we're playing two strikers up front and both of them are out injured, if he hasn't got the resource, like the players who actually play that position, is that his fault? Is that his fault? So I think if he pushes for more strikers in the transfer window and it still doesn't work out, then I think I'd be on the board with Tony Mowbray's not doing the best he can. But he's thrown kids on that haven't really had a lot of game time. He's putting people out of position all the time because he's forced to. Ellis Sims should be fit for this game. He was in training for the last 2 weeks. He looks like he can. It looks like he can keep up with the lads now, especially in the last press release from Sunderland. So he might be match fit for this game. Not 100% sure, but yeah, I can't be on the bandwagon of get Tony Mowbray out if he continues this poor form, because the circumstances are pretty dire to begin with.
Yeah, he does need a. Well, at least have Sims and Stewart back and sit and see what goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that would be the fairer approach from Sunderland fans. But there's only so long we can keep dropping down. Luckily, I think we're fortunate that there is at least 4 teams worse off than us, even if they were performing on their best on their day. Huddersfield, West Brom, Middlesbrough, and Cardiff have been playing absolutely boring crap football, defensively leaky. Middlesbrough did get that win the other week, but beyond that, they haven't really shown much of character over the last 2 months.
We just need to be careful. I mean, I think a point will be a good result tomorrow, but we can't get like too many defeats. I mean, we were fortunate Stoke lost against Coventry and that, like, but we just need to ride out the storm of getting our players back. And don't forget the January transfer window is really just around the corner. It's not that far away, is it?
Well, no, I was looking at our upcoming fixtures, and obviously the World Cup break comes into play after our next 4 games. So we do have quite a good cushion of time to look at recruitment before we make any signings in the January transfer. Obviously, I think the fan base is absolutely crying out for a third striker, even if they don't get a lot of game time. So yeah, what's our fixtures before the World Cup break? You've got obviously Luton Town tomorrow. Then in November it's Huddersfield, which we should be winning, Cardiff, which we should be winning, and Birmingham City, which I think might be a closer fight than I think most people are expecting. Because like I said a couple of seconds ago, Huddersfield and Cardiff have had a woeful season so far, and we don't want to be the team that helps them back into recovery. Yeah. That's a little bit of a ramble, but what do you reckon, Jacob? What's our go-to?
I'd say, right, for Luton, I won't be too disappointed with the draw, but I would like to get back to winning ways. Huddersfield, definitely, I'd want to win that. Cardiff, yes, and then is it Birmingham after Cardiff?
Yeah, Birmingham on the Remembrance Friday, I think.
Birmingham are actually 2-0 up against on-form QPR at the minute.
Exactly. They come out with some absolutely random results here and there. Like the Burnley game, they drew 1-1 against Burnley the other week. Nothing happened for about 70 minutes. Burnley scored and then just went, that's what you need to do. Woke up and ended up equalising like in the 85th minute. It was just, Birmingham are a surprise team for a lot of people because they don't play normal football. They just turn up when they want.
It's a funny league, the Championship, isn't it? I mean,
in those games, 10 points.
It is a funny league. I mean, there's only a very small handful of teams that are consistently winning or picking up good points. But when you look at the rest of them, everybody's beating each other. They're all beatable. To be honest with you.
Yeah, mate. Like 2-3 weeks ago, we were saying Sheffield United and Norwich are going to run away with the league, but now they're 5th and 7th. It's a really weird league. Burnley, QPR, and Blackburn are the top 3 teams at the minute, and they look comfortable with where they're at. But all it takes is that World Cup break to break the momentum, and they're falling down the table like Sheffield and Norwich are. It's too tight. I think this league could go right down to the wire, and our concern, or my concern at least, is just making sure that we don't have a long run of unbeaten games without picking up enough points, or points where we should be winning. You got to bear in mind it's only been two games on the bounce that we've lost. It's not like the worst run of form.
No, it's not like we're worst form in Championship at all. Far from that.
We're definitely in the bottom half though. So yeah, if Sims is confirmed as being back and fit tomorrow, do you think our chances jump up massively, or do you think it's going to be a couple of weeks before, even if Sims does come back fit, before that actually having the out and out striker is going to come good?
Well, if it's the Sims, the last 2 or 3 games he played, then he was going to make any difference at all. But if it's the Sims when he first arrived, the first few games, then yeah, absolutely. So it just depends what type of Sims turn up.
Have you seen anything, heard anything online about what's likely to happen with him? Because I know he was in that training, he looked good, but also, has any fans said anything?
Very quiet. I'm just going to go on social media now and have a look on one of the sites and see what's
tomorrow. I'd start him, to be fair.
Yeah. So the tweet I'm referring to is directly from Sunderland, and then it's he's back with the love heart eye emoji, and then literally 11 minutes of Ellis Sims just training and kicking the ball and playing with the rest of the team. He looks like he's match fit again.
Hopefully it be Sims from a Bristol game and not from like Reading or something like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's a strange situation for us to be in. If we do have a dedicated striker back, then you know what? Finally, thank God for that. Welcome, Elliot, by the way. I think people have been harsh on Sims. There's a lot of pressure on strikers here. Yeah.
I'm moderate on the Sims thing, and I'd probably agree with that. It's
we're a very volatile fan base. We are. It's as simple as that. We're
very emotional.
We jump to an opinion and we stick to it.
No other club does that. I don't think any other fans of any other club would do that.
No, I wouldn't say we're that unique. I would say it just feels a little bit more close to the bone when it comes to Sunderland.
I think Newcastle do it as well.
Yeah,
Arsenal, I think.
The philosophy I think of it as is more, we come from a place of passion when it comes to those kind of the critiques. We're not just outright bashing a player because we don't like them. We're outright bashing the player's poor performance because they're not putting or we're not seeing what we class as like that pulling your heart out for the lads, and it doesn't come across sometimes with Sims. Maybe that's just how his character is.
Yeah.
But now that we've had like 9 games without him,
yeah,
I think let the critics just simmer down for a couple of games and let him get back into match fitness, get some goals in for us, some first time finishes. You're forgetting he did some really brilliant passes for Stuart as well, some Leon passes. So if he's not scoring them directly, he's putting people in for a clear cut goal chance.
Forward, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a proper number 9.
Well, I can't look at Facebook at the moment. I think Facebook's down. Ever since Elon Musk bought Twitter, Facebook's never been right since.
It's only been 3 hours, mate.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Sims then, DJ? What's your thoughts on Sims?
Well, whether he's playing.
Yeah, if he's playing today, what are your thoughts?
He needs to come off the bench, I think. And I think he needs to come on second half. I wouldn't bring him on for the full game. It's because he's been out a while. I would definitely bring him on as a substitute in the
Okay.
second half, depending on obviously what the scoreline is. If we're like 4-0 down, and it's pretty pointless, isn't it? But if it's like a close 0-0 or a 1-0 to Luton, then I think it could be a good sub to bring on in the 60th minute or something.
So am I right in thinking you're thinking he could be an impact player for this game and not a system to put in place? So would you start the same two up front as we did against Burnley then?
Yeah, I thought we did all right against Burnley, to be honest with you, the beginning of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, you do need to put a huge caveat on that one.
Yeah.
At the beginning is where we excelled. So
I just think we need to strengthen up mentally. You know, I think like we felt a bit sorry for ourselves when they scored their first goal straight on in the second half. You know, we should have angered Sunderland. We should have come out with some fight, and we should have said, no, you're not. Instead of just like, you know, our arseholes falling at the bottom of our shorts. It was a pathetic collapse, to be honest with you. And it cannot really happen again.
Yeah, that's really well put. Do you think there's a lack, like you said with mentality, do you think there's a lack of maturity in the squad as well? Because we are quite a young outfit. I think we're the second youngest team that's been put out last weekend of the league.
Absolutely, and it was actually said on 5 Live through midweek that the fact like there's a lot of kids in playing for Sunderland, and compared to that Burnley side, you know, there was a lot of experience. Again, I guess non-experienced players on Saturday are gone. You know, but this is all going to help the young lads for Sunderland. This is all part and parcel of the experience, and mentally and physically getting them prepared for it, and that, like, you know, and it is a step up for a lot of them players from the Division 1 to the Championship. So if anything, it could actually be a good thing for them.
On that experience and maturity point, I think there's one player that does kind of break the mold in that, and that's Jason Bennett. He's obviously got the experience internationally. He's one of the few players at our club that has played against other nations, and he's bagged goals for his national team. That maturity in him, although he hasn't got like the long experience of hundreds of games under his belt, he's still got the quality and the experience and the maturity in him to keep a calm, level head. So do you look to people like Jurison Bennett with the younger lads as like a semi-captain? Because obviously Corey Evans was captain, but do you look to the other youth, look to their mates, I guess?
Yeah. I'd say so, yeah.
It's a strange proposition, isn't it?
Some of our players have still got acne, haven't they? So it's a young squad.
Yeah. I don't want to go there. Yeah, okay. I don't know where to go from that. It's a thing that we need to just settle ourselves into. Not drop our heads too much and roll with the punches. We are going to get games where we get beat, especially against the better quality teams. If you look at who we've been beat by, every one of them is in the top.
So that's not a...
Apart from Middlesbrough, obviously, but yeah.
It's not like a worrying sign, really, is it?
No.
If a lot of people are losing to like...
Well, we've lost 6 times, haven't we? We've lost to Burnley, Blackburn, Swansea, Sheffield United, Norwich. They're in the top 7, all of them, and the other team, obviously, Middlesbrough. But that's just that one.
That was a bit of a blip. That one. That
Yeah.
because our man were out, and if Stuart was not injured, we'd have won that game.
So I don't think don't get too carried away, Sonam, but also just try and reset when we do have upsets like that.
Build up from it.
Yeah. So
Jacob, are you able to just go on Facebook to see if it's down? Apparently, it's getting reports that there's an outage all over the country. I just want to double check it's not my end. If you can't, then it's fair enough because you're on stream. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find some social media, what's going on, but I'm just not getting access anywhere.
I like
Is
your.
that social media in general or just Facebook?
Facebook, yeah. It's just nothing's loading up at all.
Hey, stream's looking good. I like the Halloween picture you got up there, DJ.
Hey,
That DJ's back garden.
It's my bedroom.
I like the star. I like the another one in bang in the middle with the stars for the nose.
Yeah.
I like that
And
one.
if you look carefully, with that hooded person at the back, that's the missus.
Ah, no, I can put a name to the face now, or face to the name.
Are them pumpkins your kids then, DJ? Are they all your...
Absolutely, we've got a house full of bloody pumpkins.
Right, right. Shall we do the good old usual predictions for the upcoming matches? We can go through them. So obviously the Birmingham City QPR game is currently 2-0 to Birmingham City. But what is your predictions before going into the game?
I said 2-1 QPR, but I'm not going to get it.
So did I, mate.
I don't think I did any predictions.
No. Do you want to go through? Do you want to make some up now then? Because obviously there's only that QPR one that we're currently under. You've got the rest of the 11 games still to go through.
Well,
So,
I'm gonna go for a QPR comeback second half. So I'm gonna go for 2-2 full time on this one.
oh, okay, that's really interesting. That would be a good entertaining game to watch.
Yeah, I think Birmingham are going to... It's similar to what Sunderland are. They've had a superb first half, but I think QPR will turn the gas mark up. See a different second half.
We'll turn up the heat. God, yeah. I like that, mate. Not a bad little shout there. We then have, obviously, because we know how the game's going, rather than spoiling how that game's going, we'll keep an eye on it for tomorrow's live stream, see how that went. But the early kickoffs for tomorrow is Bristol City against Swansea City. For me, I've went for a 1-1 draw, mainly because Swansea don't travel away from home all that well, but Bristol have had a rocky couple of weeks. And yeah, I just see these two locking heads. So yeah, I've went for a 1-1 draw.
I said 2-0 Swansea. I mean, I think, Bristol have been struggling and not a bad side, Swansea, but the Championship, we can't predict.
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
I know. You can't... It is the Championship. It could go either way. So I'd go for 2 Swansea, because they're not a bad team, though, Swansea, to be fair.
No, they showed how good they are against us.
Oh, yeah.
DJ, what are you saying for the Bristol City Swansea game?
I'm going to go Swansea 2 out.
Oh, same as Jacob. What's your reasons for that, mate?
I don't know. I just fancy them. I just think they've not had a bad season. I just think they're a good side. Bristol City hit and miss at home.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Then it's West Bromwich Albion against Sheffield United. I think we all know how poorly West Brom are performing at the minute. We're having a little bit of a chuckle because we've been there. We know what that kind of horrific period is like, and I think they're going to struggle for the majority of the season now. Even with the quality of players that they've got, they're just not gelling as a team. I went for a 3-0 away win to Sheffield United, mainly because of how poor West Brom are, not because of how good Sheffield United are. What did you go for, Jacob?
3-1 Sheffield United, and same reason as you, pretty much. To be fair, it's West Brom have just been really struggling, and I think they might start getting better again now, Sheffield United, because I think they've had a bit of a rocky period, but now I think they'll start going back to where they were, towards the beginning of the season. So.
Okay, yeah, fair enough, buddy. And what about you, DJ? What are you saying?
I'm going to go West Brom 3-0.
Oh, okay. Any particular reason?
Yeah, I just think Sheffield United now, like they've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 without a win, 3 defeats and 3 draws, and I think the heads have dropped, and I think obviously West Brom getting rid of Cabbage Patch Doll. I think we'll see a win for West Brom 3-0.
Okay, that's an interesting take on it. Time will tell. That's a 12:30 kickoff. Then I think all of the rest of the games are 3 o'clock on Saturday. So we start off alphabetically. Burnley versus Reading. For me, I just think that these two teams are really quality. The Burnley Norwich game is what kind of momentum I think they're going to go with. So not as free flowing as they were against Sunderland, but yeah, so, I just think they're two quality teams. It'll be separated by one moment, if any. So I've gone for a 0-0 draw.
I went for a 3-0 Burnley win. They've been doing well at Burnley, and I think it is a tough place to go. Is Turf Moor, so.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Reading are bad, but I just think tomorrow won't be Reading's day tomorrow.
Well, Reading are currently sat in 8th, I believe, with 8 wins. Very much like Blackburn, either win or lose. Very occasional. I think they've had one draw so far this season, and yeah, I think defensively they are a little bit more vulnerable than Burnley are. So yeah, fair point. What about you, DJ? What are you saying, Burnley, Reading?
Yeah, I think Burnley they're on fire at the minute. I do think not as much as Will Grigg, by the way, but I think I think they're on form at the moment. I can't see anything more than a 3-1 Burnley win, to be honest with you.
Okay, fair enough. I like that one. I don't think Reading fans will, but oh well.
Sorry, Reading fans, but honestly, he's got them playing well. He's got them organised well as Vincent Kompany, and yeah, I think they're going to be champions. To be honest with you, I do think Burnley are going to do it.
We've juggled around with who's going to be champions a couple of times. I still think Sheffield United are in with a shout for that title, but they do need to pick up very, very soon.
Burnley going to walk away with it, mate.
I'd like to see Blackburn versus Burnley at Wembley. For playoffs, I'd like to see Blackburn and Burnley in the playoff final. That'd be good.
I can't even think that far ahead, mate, to be honest. I'm just glad that Nottingham aren't still in this league, because I think they would have trounced it this year. Yeah, anyways, the next game is Cardiff City against Rotherham. For me, I've went with the home team purely because they are the home team, and a 2-1 win at that. Rotherham have had a couple of shocking games in a row. Still above us. It's a really strange one to be in. I'd much rather be in Rotherham's situation than ours, even though they've picked up 2 more draws than us. That's essentially the difference between us and our fellow promoted teams. I don't know. I just think the home team will get the advantage in this one. No more real reason beyond that. What have you said, Jake?
1-0 Rotherham. They don't concede a lot, the Cardiff, and they don't score a lot. But I think Rotherham will start picking up more pot wins now. So I think tomorrow's going to be the day where they start bouncing back. And they are a good side, Rotherham, to be fair.
Yeah, they're just in the top half of the league. What are you saying, DJ?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw for this one.
Okay. Do you think that they're that close?
I don't know. I just don't think it's an exciting game. I think it'll be if you watch that game. I was on the verge of saying 0-0. I just think it's got the perfect ingredients to be fall asleep.
You're falling asleep just thinking about it.
yeah. I'm probably thinking about it.
0-0 written all over it.
Okay. Do you want me to change that to a 0-0 then for you?
No. I was saying 1-0 Rotherham.
No, I'm saying to DJ. You want that to be 0-0 or 1-1?
Yeah, go on. Take it for 0-0. But
okay.
if it is 1-1, I'll want compensation. So
0-0. Wait, yeah, you get that. I kind of agree with that though. They do seem like a team that's got barely any goals in the game, even though I said there's going to be 3. Oh well. Next one is Coventry City against Blackpool. I just think Blackpool will park the bus like they did against us for the majority of the game. Coventry have come on strong in the last couple of weeks, and I think they will leap out of the bottom three with a 1-0 win tomorrow. What are you saying, Jacob?
2-1 Coventry. They are. I think they're starting to pick up more points now, Coventry, and they are quite a physical side. And Blackpool can be a bit. I think they're a bit of a funny team. Blackpool. They're somewhat similar to Blackburn in a way. Like win lose maybe, or some draws here and there. But I think Coventry are going to win it.
Okay. The just in the interim, the second half of the Birmingham Coventry game has just got underway, so we'll see in about 45 minutes who ends up winning that one. DJ, what are you saying for Coventry Blackpool?
I think Coventry, I've always said all along, this, the bottom, they've been bottom because they've had the games or postponements and that. But I think that when they played us, I always look how they did look a very big, strong outfit. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Coventry win. They're a decent side. They won't be anywhere near the bottom end of the season.
It will match their Stoke result on the weekend as well. Because, to be fair, that game, I don't know if you watched the highlights or read any of the reports, but basically nothing happened in the first half. Stoke were looking to keep that as a point gained rather than 2 points lost, even though they were at home. It was just a really strange thing to watch. So yeah, the physicality of Coventry is something to be watched out for going forward, and they could potentially leapfrog us at some point. I just hope it's not this season. Next game is Huddersfield Town versus Millwall. I think just Huddersfield are very woeful. They might pull out an amazing shock result here, but I doubt it. I've just gone for a 3-0 away win. Millwall are going to outclass them in every area of the pitch. Maybe the only difference, I think, might be down the left flank, but yeah, I don't think Huddersfield are very, very aware or capable of doing that consistently throughout the 90. So yeah, 3-0. Jacob?
I say 3-0 Millwall.
Yeah, so same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just not on good form, Huddersfield, and yeah, I think they're going to get destroyed by the Lions at Huddersfield.
I always forget what they're named. I always think they're called the Chocolate because they've got that.
Oh yeah, Whiskey Chocolate as a sponsor.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, welcome on.
Unfair. Be careful.
What? No. That's literally, they've got a chocolate brand as their sponsor. Mike, welcome along. I'm setting home with COVID. Knock me for 6. Oh shit! Sorry to hear that, mate. I hope you get better soon.
Yeah, get well soon, fella. Get well soon.
Get well soon.
Yes. Let's crack on. DJ, Huddersfield Millwall.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think Huddersfield will get a goal, but I do think Millwall will come out top. So I think the Chocolatiers will win 4-1.
Are we giving them a new nickname now?
The Chocolatiers.
The Chocolatiers.
Chocolate.
Oh. The only thing that's coming on into my head now is the South Park song.
How does it go? I've not
actually. I don't want to do it just in case it gets picked up. Terrible singing, but you can definitely do something with the saltiness. Right, Hull versus Blackburn Rovers. I've gone for a Hull City win 2-1. Even though Blackburn are as strong as they are, they've picked up 3 wins on the bounce now. Yeah, I think Blackburn might take this game for granted. Hull, being one of those 4-2 winners on the weekend as well, will be quite chuffed, and I don't know, they've got a bit of fight back in them. Though, like 2-3 weeks ago, they didn't look like they were going to do anything or much this season. So now I've seen it, I'll believe it, and yeah, 2-1 to the home team. Jacob.
3-1 Blackburn.
For the polar opposite reason, so what are we saying for that?
I don't know. I just think they've been doing fairly decent recently at Blackburn, and I'm not saying, and I wouldn't say that Hull are bad, but I just think it's gonna be a tough day. I think for Hull, and I just don't think they'll be able to match Blackburn.
Do you think four wins on the bench for the Rovers?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, DJ?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Blackburn Rovers.
2-0 Blackburn. Okay. I'm just going to interrupt our current flow because Mike's asked a question around how close we are to the relegation zone. He says 4 points off relegation. Are we worried, lads? At the minute, no. And the only reason I'm saying no is because we've had news that Ellis Sims is back fit and he could be involved in the game on Saturday. So our striker issues that we've had for 8-9 games looks like it's coming to an end, and that's the main reason I'm saying no. We'll see if he actually performs and we get loads of goals off him, but that excuse is now gone, and we're still outside of that bottom, that fight by 4 points. What about you, DJ? Are you worried about how close we are to the relegation zone?
Well, yes and no. Yes, because literally I care about Sunderland and I want to be away from that end of the table, and I'd rather not be 4 points away from the relegation zone. But no, because 3 reasons. I think first reason, players injured. Second reason, there's a lot of teams worse than us. To be honest with you, and I think that the third reason being is we are too strong when we get our full squad back. So. Yes, for current wise, but overall, no. I don't think we'll anywhere near going down.
No, definitely not.
I like the optimism. Jacob?
My answer is similar to DJ's. It's like my no reason is the same as Am's, yours, and me. Yes, is sort of like DJ's. Yeah, like passionate, and you don't want to see him go down again. But yeah, overall, I'd say nowhere near relegation at end of season.
Perfect. Mike responded and just said, "Hope he doesn't hurt his toe." And that moves us perfectly on to the next prediction: Luton Town versus Sunderland. I've gone with a 1-0 away win for the lads, mainly because I think we will match them in most areas of the pitch. We'll frustrate them. I don't think we'll park the bus, but we will rile them up. We're taking up literally a fifth of their stadium with our fans. I think our fans will be louder than them for the entire match. Yeah, I'm just going for a cagey 1-0 win. Jacob?
2-1 Sunderland.
2-1 Sunderland. And who's getting the goals for you?
I think Pritchard and Sims. That's if he starts. If he doesn't start, then I'd say Pritchard and. Oh,
you got to remember, you can come off the bench.
yeah.
You don't have to score before then. Is that both of your accounts, DJ?
What, sorry?
Are they both your accounts?
One of them account. I've got another account. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Old school, hardcore, hard techno, and trance. That's your account. Okay. So you're not House of Commons on drugs. Good evening.
No.
Okay.
House of Commons on drugs.
Yeah. Great profile name, by the way. What you saying? What you saying for the Sunderland result tomorrow? What are you thinking? Or hope? Obviously, you're hoping for a win, but what are you actually thinking?
I just don't know. It's just which mental Sunderland turn up. I mean, will they get the backlash of our performance against Burnley, or we're still going to feel sorry for ourselves? Let's not forget Luton are a decent side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for 1-1.
Yeah, like I think you said before we started streaming, a point wouldn't be a bad result.
Just welcome to Anth the Mackem, who's just popped into the channel. How you doing, mate?
I think he might be doing okay. Welcome along, Anth the Mackem.
Yeah, welcome
on. Mike also chips in and says Luton Luton, isn't that where we had the buses were made? What? Isn't that where On the Buses was made? Oh, right, is that a show? So let's hope we don't park the bus. I have no idea.
I
On
know
the,
that Luton is where the main hub. Have you heard of EasyJet, the airline EasyJet?
I know it's where Big Brother was set. The Big Brother warehouse. I know it was in Luton.
I know that Luton is the main hub for EasyJet airline, and it's where Stacey Dooley is from.
That's why they've got a shit football team. They're better than us at the minute. In the league table, at least. We'll see tomorrow if they're actually better
You've got to walk
than us on the pitch.
Sitting rooms and gardens to get into the ground.
Hi, Tiger. They were close to going up last season, weren't they, as well? So you got to remember, they do have quality players within their team that we need to be worried about. But
I remember I'm saying they wouldn't have matched the standards for the Premier League, which stadium they'd have had to.
they'll have to rebuild a new stadium or stadium shared with somebody else. Potentially Crystal Palace. Right, the next game, I've gone for Norwich City versus Stoke City with a Norwich City 4-0 win because Norwich City are just a mile above where Stoke City are at. But under Alex Neil, he likes to pull out good performances against big teams, so it could quite easily be like a 1-0 away win for Stoke. But I can't see that really happening. So, yeah, 4-0 to Norwich. What about you, Jacob?
3-0 Norwich.
3-0. You've changed your mind. You've changed your mind.
3-0 Norwich.
Okay, fair enough. Same reason?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
You still feeling Alex Neil.
Oh, did you hear the Sunderland fans chanting about Alex Neil? DJ definitely did.
I'm watching the Birmingham QPR game at the moment. I don't know what's going on in the Birmingham ground, but there's like, you know, when the pandemic was on and we're watching like the covers all over the seats, there's nobody in. That's what the ground's like. That's what the ground's like at the minute. So are they getting groundwork done or something?
No. Their stadium's been like that for ages, mate. Unless they're in the Premier League, they don't sell out. They never. It is pretty bad. Consider the bigger team in Birmingham, the most supported team, I should say, is definitely Villa. Birmingham City is for like.
They've literally got a whole stand. Most of the ground is literally covered with tarpaulin on the seats. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty standard, mate. It's been like that for years. Am I supposed to be on a plane? No, next month. November to December, Mike. But yes, what's your prediction for the Norwich game, DJ? Sorry, I forgot.
Stoke City 2-0.
Well, Stoke City 2-0 or Norwich City?
Stoke City 2-0.
Oh. Why?
I just think Alex Neil with the blip against Coventry, and he'll have them up for the big games, and I just think I think he'll have them up for it.
Okay.
You know what he's like as a manager, and
yeah.
Joseph Billings just said, "I won't expect a draw, but I will expect a win tomorrow." That's for our result. Welcome, Joseph. But yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Stoke City.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll see which one happens at the end of the 90 tomorrow. Then, second last game is Preston North End against the Smoggies at Preston. I've gone for a Preston 1-0 win just to get back to their normality of barely scoring any goals in any games. I don't know. Middlesbrough have been, other than that 4-1 win, that a bit of anomaly. It's not been brilliant for them this season. Away from home, they're really, really quite poor. But yeah, 1-0 Preston North End. My Tiger. Jacob?
2-1 Preston. I just think, yeah. I mean, yeah, they don't score a lot, Preston, but I just think they want to, like you said, it's pretty much the same as you, really. Back for Preston.
Back on Preston. Joseph in DJ's chat says, tomorrow I won't expect a draw, but I'll expect a win. Tomorrow's result's going to be interesting, either way for Sunderland's perspective, because if we do win, we could be in the top 8, I believe. Yes, DJ, what are you saying for the Preston Middlesbrough game?
Preston 1, Middlesbrough 3.
You expect the Smuggies to score 3 away from home? Any particular reason? I don't think they've done that for about 40 games.
I just think they like that though. Middlesbrough, they'll just as you're laughing at Middlesbrough saying, ha, they're going down, they're struggling, they come up with a win. Joseph Billingsley says, DJ, don't be stupid. I don't know what that's over like, but I am stupid anyway, so he's right. I'm proud of it. So, but yeah, I think Middlesbrough are just like that. They're just as you think they're in trouble, they'll pop up with a win. So I think tomorrow will be it.
Tomorrow will be it. They'll pull themselves a little bit clearer from that bottom three. Fair. Then the final game of the weekend is Wigan Athletic hosting Watford. For this one, I've gone for a high-scoring 2-3 away win for Watford, because I don't know if you've watched the last couple of Watford games, but they are on fire. Wigan recently have obviously lost their games, but they have been in with a shout with them. So I just think they're going to be a lot of end-to-end battles. Could be the other way around, but I'm going to edge it towards the Hornets. Jacob?
2-0 Watford.
2-0 Watford.
They've been on good form, Watford, and they had a good derby win in their last game, so I can see them getting another win against Wigan.
Yeah, but I mean, Wigan are on a 3-game loss streak. What about you, DJ?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw on this one.
Okay.
I think Wigan need to, obviously they've had a bad run of form, so they need to pick things up a bit. So, and I think they'll raise the game slightly for that match. And Joseph Billings replying saying DGW Stewart, he definitely wants Sunderland to go down.
I want Sunderland to go down. No, that's not correct.
He definitely wants to go down. I don't know. DJ, it's when you said Norwich to get beat. I mean, he's saying stupid. Well, fair enough. I mean, yeah. I mean, Norwich are a good side, but I just think, we know what Alex Neil's like with these results he gets. So.
Well, to be fair, we have over the last few weeks seen Norwich are going to win all of their games, and they haven't. So, if you're being fair about it, we're just putting the coin back to where they're doing it the other way around. And on my side, the question from Mike that's coming back to the Sunderland game is, will Bailey Wright get a goal this weekend? I can't see why he hasn't been getting a goal.
Well, why do you think he hasn't?
Starting tomorrow. Why can't they start him?
I don't know why, but Tony Mowbray seems to prefer the attitude of Luke O'Nien over the attitude of Bailey Wright, and I think that's ultimately what it is. It's down to that personal connection that Bailey Wright has with the gaffer. Like, quality-wise, he's definitely better positioned to be a centre-back than Luke O'Nien. Luke O'Nien, that's not his natural position.
Luke O'Nien's midfield. He's a centre mid. Luke O'Nien.
He's becoming the defender that we want. Luke O'Nien's becoming the Lee Cattermole, right? It's a strange situation to be in, because we have been screaming up the front of the pitch to get people in the right position, but also at the back we've got players that are fit that should be starting. It does make me kind of confused as to why we aren't doing that. You're on phone likes now as I've just pressed the like button. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you for smashing the like on YouTube. Welcome along.
Joseph's also says, who's excited about Ellis Sims to be back? And I've already answered that one, saying he's just asked who's excited about Ellis Sims to be back.
Do you know what I read? I was reading it and I was like, "Are you Ellis Sims to be back? Wait, we don't want that. That's just stupid for the club." I read it as Ellis Short. It's like, fuck, what the fuck? No, I am kind of excited that Ellis Sims is match fit again. That it does make us that little bit more settled. Could you imagine just the Sims and Bennett partnership? How good that could be. Sims holding the ball up. Even Barr I just think we need somebody big in the box to fight for the ball. We haven't had that for a couple of weeks, so I'm quite excited.
Do you not think Sunderland are really lacking a leader on the pitch? The like of a Kevin Ball. Have we got a player? Would you say in that squad who's like a Kevin Ball or a Lee Cattermall? Or
so I like Lugo 9 in that kind of role. I also like Pritchard in that kind of role, but I think if Pritchard drops his head, everybody else drops their head. I don't rate Corey Evans in that role, but I don't know his personal relationship with the rest of the team. He doesn't come across as a natural leader. That's about it, really. I can't think of anybody else in our squad that screams leader. Obviously skilled players, but not like, yeah. Thank you. Yes. What about you? Do you see anybody?
no, I don't. We need someone who's got that bit of nastiness in them to attack at their own players if they're not pulling the weight and getting them hyped up on that. I don't see anybody at all.
Do you know who I'd love to see doing that though? Patterson.
Keeper.
The keeper. I think I know there's very rare occasions where the keeper's been the captain for squads, but when the keeper is the captain for the squad, that squad absolutely demolishes teams. It's a really old example, but David Seaman, that kind of leader, he screamed at players when they weren't doing the jobs, and that kind of on the pitch, like what the fuck you doing, helps.
Was that both Arsenal and England, or was it just?
Yeah, it was. Well, I mainly noticed it at England because I didn't really watch Arsenal all that much at that time. But for England, he was brilliant. I know there was other players that had the captain's armband during his tenure, but when he had that armband, even when he didn't have the armband, actually, it just commanded the quality of the players around him.
But you don't see any. Sorry, Jacob, carry on, lad.
No, you go first, DJ. Ladies first.
It's been ages since we've seen somebody shouting at the Sunderland players and getting angry with the Sunderland players. You don't see it, and I think it's a miss. I think it's needed, but you didn't see anybody shouting at anybody out of position, or if they're not trying hard enough, or it's you've not seen it for many seasons.
I think we saw it a lot more towards the back end of last season. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It does just feel like it's on the day. Like some people can pull it out. Yeah, looking at our squad, I think the people who have the gravitas to potentially do that, Ross Stewart.
Yeah.
I
think Bailey Wright's one of those players as well.
Oh yeah, I'm just scrolling up. Bailey Wright, Daniel Ballard, and Danny Barr.
I think maybe 09 could be one of those as well. A player to say no, stop pissing around.
He's the baby-faced assassin, isn't he?
Yeah.
So John is asked, who has Sunderland got tomorrow? So we are away from home to Luton Town. I said we would win this one 1-0. Jacob said a 2-1 away win for Sunderland, and DJ said a 1-1 draw. And yeah, we'll see how that actually pans out. We're looking at around the hour mark, or just approaching the hour mark. Do you want to go through what's happening next on your channel, DJ?
Well, yeah. Obviously, we're doing the joint stream for the match tomorrow, and I'll just be putting some random clips, some funny clips and stuff up through the week. So
yeah,
that's what I'll be doing.
Perfect. Jacob, are you doing anything with your socials, or just cracking on with what you've got going?
Maybe just cracking on with what I'm going. I might just upload some maybe other TikTok videos onto my YouTube channel or something, but that's what I've done with my YouTube channel. Just uploaded old TikTok videos onto my channel.
Got yeah. Let me just read through. We've had a couple of messages. So Tiger and Darv are talking about the Liverpool game. Tiger says she'll agree with a 1-1 or a 2-1 win. And John Han says he's a Chelsea supporter and he supports his hometown team, Margate Football Club. I don't think I've ever met a Margate football fan ever. So
Joseph Billings
nice to meet you.
says if we get beat tomorrow, we could move down to 20th.
Yes, but all of the teams below us have to also lose. So, because Hull, Stoke, Blackpool, Wigan, Cardiff, and Middlesbrough have to lose, don't they? Just to drop that low. I don't think that's realistic. I have to win. Sorry. On my channel, we are doing the watch along for the game on SFC on Saturday at Luton. I think we're doing. Is there a game in the midweek as well? In November? Wednesday the 2nd of November at Huddersfield Town. So we'll be doing a watch along for that as well. There'll be another reaction / prediction video before then. And this video will also be used as a Spotify podcast called the Mackem Football Show. If you do not catch the YouTube channel live stream, you can catch us on Spotify as well. Adam Prince saying we'll win 4-0 and Tiger saying 3-0 Sunderland. So, yeah, well, lads, easy. We're getting goals left, right, and centre because Ella Sims is back now. I'll wrap up my stream there. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here.
Thank you.
You're all legends, and catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you. Catch you later.